Back here on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. And this is not the Thursday replay you were just hearing.
No.
This is a live, fun Friday show. Our normal Friday video producer is on vacation, and apparently the vacation date was put in the other producer's calendar wrong. And so now it has been remedied, and we are live here on the air. We should be on YouTube and Twitch as well. And that means today we can Fun Friday it up.
Woohoo!
Got a little bit of news. We got a lot coming up this weekend. And we will take your text messages. And yes, I'm going to open up the phone lines, including the world-famous international web browser line. I'm thinking of buying www.internationalwebbrowserline.com. And maybe that'd be easier for people to find.
You better jump on it quick now that you said it.
Who's going to go buy that?
I don't know.
Waste your money if you want.
.org.
I can think of something else.
.biz.
.xxx.
By the way, does fthesnow.com still?
Nah, I think I got rid of that one. Probably been a lot more valuable nowadays. But anyway, so this is what we got coming up.
It's a deep cut for people.
Tomorrow is Saturday night's main event. And
on Saturday?
Sources have confirmed Hulk Hogan will not be appearing on Saturday night's main event.
Cheering intensifies.
First reported by Chris Featherstone, Hogan had been the key person in all commercials for the show. The report, Dave Meltzer writes, of a family-related reason is also accurate. What that means is WWE said, yes, it's because of a family-related reason.
His family doesn't want to see him booed out of the building again.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But that's the story. So he won't be there, but Jesse Ventura will be there.
Oh, my
God,
in fact, the timing.
They had not mentioned his name whatsoever until it found out that Hogan wasn't going to be there, and now Jesse Ventura is going to be there. So anyway, it's at the Frost Bank Center. Speaking of F the Snow, the Frost Bank Center, San Antonio, Texas. And we have got Gunther versus Jey Uso for the world title. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the women's title. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Shawn Michaels, Special Enforcer, for a Royal Rumble contract signing between Cody and Kevin Owens. Now, here's the big question, everybody. Here's the big question. So, Monday's Raw is in Atlanta. And Goldberg is apparently going to be there. They have not mentioned this publicly at all. Now, you would think that they would make a big deal out of Goldberg being in Atlanta on Monday, but they haven't, which makes me think, okay, that there's a reason they haven't mentioned this. That being that in that Gunther-Jey Uso world title match, Goldberg is going to make a surprise return, screw Gunther, and Jey Uso will become the world heavyweight champion.
Wow.
Because it does appear that Gunther and Goldberg is going to be a match. And I'm not sure if that needs to be a world title match. But, because probably if it's his retirement match, I would think they would give Goldberg the win. Maybe not. But the title doesn't need to be on the line for that. I will say that I believe that at some point, Jey Uso should win the world title because that dude is over. I was there at War Games for his entrance, and I have seen his entrance on the television shows. But I will say that ever since Triple H took over, I mean, they haven't done guy gets a title when it doesn't feel like it's the right time yet. I feel like if Jay's going to win the title, there should be more of a journey. But I will say that one thing that Vince used to do all the time was there would be surprises that didn't make sense, that you didn't expect. But every now and then you need to do something like that because it keeps people on their toes. You don't want to do it all the time. But a surprise shock title change on a show you weren't expecting I mean, I think it's possible that it could happen tomorrow. What does my gut tell me? It's not going to happen, but I think there's at least a possibility it could. Goldberg could also appear after the match and destroy Gunther, and then you announce he's going to be on Raw on Monday in Atlanta. But I think the fact that he hasn't been advertised means one way or the other, he's showing up as a surprise on Saturday night's main event tomorrow night. That's my thought.
Well, they have a long tour of Europe scheduled before WrestleMania, correct? If you wanted to, but then again, are you doing the Goldberg match against Gunther at WrestleMania? Is that where his retirement
I presume
match would be?
so.
Or would it be before that in Saudi Arabia or something like
it could
that?
be Saudi Arabia if they're going to offer a lot more money, but my presumption would be that this would be a big WrestleMania match. Why would Goldberg not want to retire at WrestleMania?
Well, if Gunther goes over, I mean, you could have Gunther win the title on that European tour, and then have him
from Jay, because he's got the title now.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, from Jay. If you go with your scenario, and then if Gunther defeats Goldberg at WrestleMania, but then again, they probably don't want that. They want moment of him standing tall.
If you're doing Gunther and Goldberg at WrestleMania and the title's on the line, then Jay should absolutely not beat him tomorrow. It's not the right time. But if you don't want the title on the line, somebody's got to beat Gunther.
Well, here's my question then. What do you do with Jay then at WrestleMania if you have him beat Gunther now and you're going to do Gunther and Goldberg at WrestleMania? What do you think the path is for Jay?
I don't know.
You
could
think
have
it's Drew McIntyre, or
I don't know. If Jay is the champion, then you could do CM Punk. You could do Sammy. They're very strongly teasing that Sami Zayn is turning heel soon. I don't know if that'll happen, but they're certainly teasing that. And if not, I don't know.
Seth and CM Punk seem like. Then again, they could be in a triangle with Drew, too, and all of that could make sense as well, too. It would be interesting if they did do that, how long Jay would hold on to the belt, and if he would hold on to it going into Mania. It's very interesting.
So anyway, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the women's title is on the show. Braun Breaker against Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. If the world title doesn't change hands, I think Sheamus is beating Braun Breaker.
I think so, too.
Or he doesn't beat him, and that's going to be a WrestleMania title change. I think both are possible.
Yeah, it's such a long way to go for that, though.
Braun Strowman. Well, dude, it's been his whole career he hasn't won that Intercontinental title. What's another 2 months?
That's true.
We got Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. My most anticipated match on Saturday night's main event. And Shawn Michaels will do... I mean, they haven't explained this very well. But Cody and Kevin Owens... It's not even a contract signing. Like, the match is already signed. There is an addendum of some sort, and it has not been explained what the addendum is, but they're going to be signing it, allegedly. Like, this one's kind of weird. I mean, what's the addendum? Like, the Winged Eagle will be the main championship belt for the champion from here on out?
They're going to unify it?
You guys are not allowed to touch until the Royal Rumble? Like, what's the addendum? The Royal Rumble is now only a week away, so what's the point of you guys can't touch until the Rumble?
It could be something like that where, you know, Kevin Owens, they put something on Owens, but he baits Cody into something, and then that's the rule, is they can't touch each other, and then you just have Owens being relentless on Cody, trying to bait him for the next couple of months.
Well, anyway, that's Saturday night's main event, and it's coming up on Saturday night on NBC. And also, apparently, on Sirius Satellite Radio.
Yes.
If for some reason you decide, you know what, I don't want to watch the show, but what I'd like is to hear the live play-by-play of the show, the audio feed on Sirius Satellite Radio. If you're one of those people, well, Sirius Satellite Radio is the place for you. Apparently they do this for SmackDown, too.
Well,
This is bizarre to me.
Well, it is a simulcast on NBC Sports Radio, and I don't know if it's on all affiliates nationwide for those channels out there on the AM radio dial that have NBC Sports, but on Sirius XM, they absolutely go ahead and they simulcast the show because I guess what else are they going to do in that time? It would be a replay of a podcast or something anyway, so yeah, and it's lasted a lot longer than the...
Well, hold that thought. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Are you heading to Las Vegas for WrestleMania? If so, clear some time on the calendar because we have a lot of great events. It's our annual convention, the WrestlingObserver.com/F4W online convention in Las Vegas this year on WrestleMania weekend. April 18th, Friday, April 19th and 20th. We got special events every day. Friday will be the Dave Meltzer, Bryan Alvarez live Q&A. You can show up. We've got a meet and greet. Perhaps we'll have some merch. And you can ask us any question that you would like at the live Q&A. This will not appear as a podcast, a video podcast, audio podcast. You can only see and hear the Dave Meltzer, Bryan Alvarez Q&A if you attend live. That is April 18th at noon at the beautiful Palms Resort Casino in Las Vegas. We will also have wrestling watch parties. Have you ever wanted to watch wrestling with Dave Meltzer? 2 wrestling watch parties coming up that weekend, as well as 2 after parties. What is an after party? It's exactly what it sounds like. After WrestleMania, both nights, you'll be able to come back to a suite. I'll be there, Dave, a bunch of other friends and subscribers, and you'll get to party. We'll have alcohol, food, and more. These are the after parties after WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. If you want to go, you got to buy your tickets now. Tickets available for everything at f4wonline.com/Vegas. Easy. f4wonline.com/Vegas. Did I mention we're going to have a group dinner at Texas Day Brazil? It's an all-you-can-eat steakhouse, all-you-can-eat steak. I hear some of you right now, I don't eat meat. Doesn't matter. They have the best salad bar you'll ever see. Texas Day Brazil. You can grab your tickets for that meet and greet / dinner as well. Where? f4wonline.com/Vegas. See you there. Yes?
Nothing. Just, do you want to explain to Michael Booble why you won't be changing the name to have it spelled like that?
Well, I wasn't even looking at the thing. What's he talking about? Oh, meet
about
and greet?
The meet and greet. I don't
yeah,
think
within a week.
Vegas.
Within a week, we'll have the information on the Brazilian steakhouse. But yes, if you go to Vegas for WrestleMania, f4wonline.com/Vegas. We got events the entire weekend. Friday, there's a Q&A with Dave and I, Palms Casino and Hotel, the beautiful Palms. And we'll have a meet and greet. We can sign your gimmicks, the whole 9 yards. That's Friday. We got a dinner, probably Friday night is what I believe it's going to be, at the Brazilian Steakhouse. We got 2 nights of watching wrestling in the suite and a post-WrestleMania suite party. Tickets for all of this available now, f4wonline.com/Vegas. You should sign up. It's a lot of fun. I can think of 2 examples in the last 15 years where people did not have fun at the and in both cases
expand on that?
There was an incredible amount of drinking by the people involved, and quite frankly, the next day they probably don't even remember they didn't have fun. So don't do that.
Oh, but the audio that'll never
otherwise you will have fun if you attend this, and you will probably make some friends that you'll remember for the rest of your lives. f4wonline.com/Vegas. Go get your tickets now. So, Dynamite on Wednesday, there's a lot to talk about, but I won't talk a lot about it. That's Dave's job. So basically, Dynamite did 655,000 viewers and a .19. Now, if you just compare this to what NXT did, NXT murdered them, okay? NXT had significantly more viewers and a significantly higher 18 to 49. Now, the difference is one of these shows simulcast on Max and the other was only on television. So it's not really fair to go back and forth. And the fact is, Max, AEW is doing well on Max. I know, I see it in the chat right here. I don't know what it is where people refuse to believe that people are watching Dynamite on Max. I don't know what it is. I'm baffled. But people are watching Dynamite and Collision on Max.
Maybe because everybody is prefacing what they're talking about when it comes to ratings, both in WWE and in AEW with, but people are watching on Max.
But they are.
We can't give you the exact amount, but people are watching.
Well,
yes, we know people are watching, but why do you have to preface it every time with, people are watching on Max?
Well, because
people are watching on Peacock, right?
People are fighting this idea that, in fact, nobody is watching on Max, and they're just rapidly losing viewership as soon as they began simulcasting. So Max has
not true
announced...
at all. They've held pat with what they've been doing for months.
They're down. Their 18 to 49 is down quite a bit, actually.
I know, but it's not like the average is so far off from what they've been dropping. I know.
That's the point. They're doing well because they're also having people watch on Max instead of... But no one is willing to listen to this. It's the same thing with Netflix, you nerds. Now, Fightful Select reported Friday WBD did state AEW has been, quote, among the top streamed live sports events since the simulcast kicked off this month. So they didn't give numbers, but, unless you are in a cave, unless you refuse to listen to anyone else on this planet, there are a lot of people. Every single day I hear from people that are like, I don't watch on anything except Max anymore. I watch on Max. I cut this, I cut that, I watch on Max. I have not watched AEW on YouTube TV since they moved to Max. Not one time. And a lot of other people have done that as well. So, they're doing well. But if you want to do a straight comparison, TV to TV, then they're being beaten by NXT. But quite frankly, the numbers are probably very, very similar if you add in the people that are watching on Max. And if that upsets you, it's Friday and you need to get out of the house. So go do something fun.
It's Fun Friday, for heaven's sakes.
Yes.
Almost cursed.
Yes. I see I'm missing out on Lenny here.
Oh, what's he doing? Lenny? Oh, Lenny.
So let me explain something. This is not just to Lenny, but this is just... I feel like every month I have to explain this because people don't understand. So
it's his time of the month.
I didn't have to read what he said. I know what he said. And what he said was, ratings are not indicative of the quality of the show, okay? Because that's the argument that people make when something they enjoy is not doing well, but they feel that what they enjoy is better than the alternative, which is doing better. So the thing with the quality of the show versus the number the show is doing is that ratings are objective, and whether you think the show is good or bad is subjective. And each person is going to watch a show, and they personally will decide whether the show is better or worse. So when Lenny says, well, AEW Dynamite is much better than Raw, that is a subjective opinion. That is Lenny's opinion of which show is better. That goes for everybody. If you watch Dynamite and you decide this is the better wrestling show, you are making a subjective argument, not an objective argument, okay? So, the reality is, if Raw is doing significantly better than Dynamite, okay, you personally may subjectively believe that Dynamite is the better show, but the people that are all watching Raw, they all subjectively believe that Raw is the better show. So your job as a pro wrestling promoter, is to create a product where your viewers believe it is subjectively the best. Okay? So there is something to what show is objectively doing better numbers. The show that is objectively doing better numbers, what you can say is that show is doing a better job convincing their viewers that it is the subjectively better show. So, in fact, how many people are watching does matter. It is your job as a promoter to bring those numbers up, to get more people watching on television, to get more people buying tickets to go to the shows, to get more people purchasing pay-per-views, etc., etc. So while your personal belief of which show is better is subjective, well, if you look at how well a show is doing, that is telling you how well the promotion is doing, convincing people that, in fact, their show is better, and that's your job.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right. Alexa Bliss. It's maybe some time before she returns to WWE TV. A new report out Thursday has she and WWE in a dispute over a new contract. PW Insider reported she was expected back in a surprise appearance on the January 13th Raw, but Bliss's team then wanted to negotiate a new contract with, quote, enhanced perks versus continuing under the extension of her existing deal. So she is not back yet, has yet to agree to terms. So I wonder what those terms are. Well, I guess we shall see.
Well, I mean, days off, who knows what it could be, and what she could be asking for or whatever, but I if I'm her, I don't think I want to wait too long. They have so many people, and you have Nikki Cross there in that role where she probably should have been from day one, but they decided to go with Alexa, and it's out of sight, out of mind. If they come back, give it some fanfare, then sure, people will get back into it with her being a member of the Wyatts, but I wouldn't want to wait too long or drag things out for too much longer because, again, you don't necessarily need her in the grand scheme of things when you have so many people on the roster and you keep adding people constantly through NIL and people on the way up.
All right, so listen, that's most of the news for today. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to open up the phone lines here in a while. They are not open yet. They will be open up after the next break.
Patience.
But write this down so that you can give us a call if you would like. The phone number is 618. This is to call. I'll give the text number in a moment. The phone number to call this program, Lenny.
East of the Rockies.
Lenny, is 618-762-DARK. Actually, that's for After Dark Radio, but it works here as well. It works for both shows. Isn't that crazy? 618-762-3275. That's the phone number. That's 618-762-3275. If you call Sports Byline, you will not be on the program today. That happened last week. If you are international and you would like to use the international web browser line, then type in callinstudio.com/show/WOL. That is callinstudio.com/show/WOL, the international web browser line. You can text me. For those of you that are cowards, you may text me at 425-780-7566. That's 425-780-7566. And you can email me at f4wonline@gmail.com. f4wonline@gmail.com. Brian at WrestlingObserver.com also works. And you can follow me on Threads, Instagram, and Cameo, F4W Online. I do $25 cameos, and they are worth much more than that. And I am at Bryan Alvarez on X, as well as Blue Sky. So when we come back, those phone lines will be open, and we'll read the text messages that we get here today as well. It'll be fun, because it's Fun Friday. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts. Here in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. Phone lines are packed. So what are we waiting for? Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. Fun Friday. Who is this and what's up?
Hey, Brian and Mark. This is Matthew from Nashville. Thanks, as always, for taking my call. I wanted to talk about the winner of the Men's Rumble. So a lot of people are predicting Cena to win that. I actually think he's going to win the Chamber because of all the promotion where it's his last appearance in Toronto. I'm leaning more toward Punk winning the Rumble. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I want to thank you very much for the call, and I would agree on both counts. I think Punk winning the Rumble is the most likely men's scenario, and I think the whole idea is that, the story John Cena told is, I have not won a match in 2,000 X number days, whatever, which is ridiculous, but that is the last time he won a singles match on television, okay? But the story's got to be that, he just can't get it. He entered the Rumble because it was his only chance, but he failed. But there's at least one more chance, which is the Elimination Chamber. And obviously, with the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, we'll see what kind of shape he's in. He'll be in good, cosmetic shape, but, if you remember that match he had over the summer, that tag match, he was in the ring for, 18 seconds or something crazy. So either the Rumble or the Chamber, you can leave him there until the end to make his big comeback, and I think that is the likely scenario, so yes.
I think anybody remembers John Cena and Austin Theory.
I remembered. I was there live. What a waste. All right, let's go to the phones. You are on the air. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Brandon from Portsmouth, Virginia.
Yes.
So in the chat last night for the Bryan and Vinny show, I noticed that there was a discussion over whether or not John Cena's attitude adjustment is a Death Valley driver or not. So I thought on this Fun Friday, you could enlighten the viewers and let us know, is John Cena's attitude adjustment a DVD or not?
All right. I want to thank you very much for that that trollerific call. Listen, the AA is a Death Valley driver, okay? The AA is a Death Valley driver. Now, people have been arguing that it's not a Death Valley driver because they're keyboard warriors sitting behind a screen. I was a wrestler. It's a Death Valley driver. I don't know if you guys have ever watched John Cena, but he is far from the most athletic fella in the world, okay? He did a lot of moves that if you look at how he did them, you would say, well, that wasn't really a springboard cutter. That was more like a springboard stunner where you stumble. Listen, it's a DVD. When he was in WWE, like when he first started using the move, they called it a Death Valley driver. He later gave it his name, et cetera, et cetera. And when he was a WWE superstar, nobody else was allowed to do a Death Valley driver. So the AA is a Death Valley driver. I remember, I won't mention their names or whatever, but Filthy and I were doing some tag match or whatever, and like this other team was like, I'm going to do the this and the that and the this. I was like, what in God's name are those things? Because they renamed all of these moves, okay? But it was still the move. Do you know what I'm saying? So I had to find out, like, what is a, Shockwave Hype Master. I don't even know what that is. They're like, oh, it's it's a DDT. Oh, okay. And then someone on the internet is going to argue that the Shockwave Burgermeister is not actually a DDT. No, it is. It's a DDT, okay? The AA is a Death Valley driver. I'm sorry if he doesn't fall down or drop people on their heads, okay? It's a DVD. Now, can we move on? Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Don the Don Rossberger.
Yeah, you called the right number this week, brother. Good job, yes.
I did. I'm here just up the road from Rad's Ford on the other side of the state from Portsmouth. But anyways, I was a little upset, perturbed at the beginning of the month because you ran the predictions thing on Wednesday instead of Fun Friday.
Oh.
And I was going to call in and say, hey, at the end of the year, Toru Yano and Orange Cassidy are going to win the World Tag League over there in New Japan.
Oh, so it's not going to be the trios this time?
No, Danhausen, look.
I am going to die when the trio actually wins this time, and you cowered it out and put it as a tag team.
You think it is going to be the trio thing? Okay, cool. All right. We'll see.
All right. Duly noted, Don the Don. Thank you very much for the call.
Watch the real thing be Yano and Orange Cassidy end up winning the strong open weight tag team titles at some point.
I thought he was going to say he was upset at the beginning of the month because the strip club didn't have a special that week. But let's go to the phones. You're on the air. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Rochester.
Yes, Mike.
Brian and Mike, thank you for taking my call. And I just want to say I did something last night that I haven't done in over 10 years, which is actually watch an entire episode of TNA Impact from start to finish.
Oh, yeah?
And after watching that show, I actually thought it was a pretty good show. I decided that we have to, as a threesome, have to speak 2 wrestling matches into existence. Now that WWE and TNA have a partnership for WrestleMania weekend.
Okay.
And that is TNA X Division champion Moose versus NXT champion Oba Femi. That match would be awesome.
That does sound fun.
And then the other one would be NXT Women's Champion Julia versus Tessa Blanchard. I know Tessa's had her baggage, but when I watched her last night come out, cut that promo, she is a total superstar. So if they could get past the baggage and she can stay on the straight and narrow, that match would be awesome WrestleMania weekend. So I just want your thoughts on what you think about those 2 matches possibly happening WrestleMania weekend.
All right, I want to thank you very much for the call. I don't think it's so much the baggage as it is, or staying on the straight and narrow. I think it's more, I think people want her to apologize for things in the past and also stay on the straight and narrow. So I don't know if staying on the straight and narrow is going to be enough for a lot of people.
Well, Moose has been on the straight and narrow from all reports for a long time, and I believe the baggage that he carries, I don't even know if he was in the wrestling business when all that stuff happened. It may have been between the football career and the wrestling business, but he hasn't been able to shake that either. And both of them are in a really weird situation where if there's going to be somebody that benefits from the NXT/WWE TNA relationship, it's people like Tessa Blanchard and Moose, because that may be as close as they ever get.
Got a text message here. Where are Colton and Austin Gunn? I get Juice is injured, but why are the guns missing? One of the guns also injured. And so all of the guns are gone, apparently, is how it works, including Billy. He's not been seen either.
I don't think Billy wants to be around for
which, by the way,
Max and Anthony's breakup.
I did mention this on the Bryan and Vinny show the other night, but are you all aware the Acclaimed have broken up?
I've heard this.
You've heard it? Well, It happened on Collision, and there was absolutely positively zero mention of this on Dynamite whatsoever. And for the literally 50% of people that don't watch Collision, they have absolutely no idea what happened. So we'll see if there's any follow-up at some point. Well,
here's the thing. They didn't miss much. They basically said, we're not going to be partners anymore. Max wanted to shake hands. Let's do this. And Anthony said no and gave him the finger. And Max said, all right, I was the star. You'll miss me. I'm gone. That was it. That's it.
All right. Let's see what we've got here. You're on the air. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
It's Hub from Arizona.
Hobbs?
Good to talk to y'all. Hub, H-U-B.
Oh, H-U-B, okay.
Yeah, Mike knows me on Twitter and as video of the dams. Good to talk to y'all. What is the deal with Alexa Bliss and the way they mishandle her? It seems like historically they always are reluctant to pull the trigger on her. She's got a great real-life story as far as overcoming eating disorders. She's very athletic. She's very marketable. There's been the tiniest bit of scuttlebutt about maybe she didn't get along with people backstage, like the Four Horsewomen, but I'm not even sure there are enough of them active right now for that to be a problem. So why... What have you heard?
Let me ask you this question. She's won the Raw Women's title 3 times, the SmackDown Women's title twice, the Tag Team Champions 3 times, the Women's Money in the Bank, and she was the second WWE Women's Triple Crown champion. So I don't know if I would say she's under-pushed. Is there something I'm missing?
Well, yes. Previously, I feel like around the time she became Spooky Alexa Bliss, and she was selling a lot of merchandise, too, during that whole, Bray Wyatt Funhouse era and the weird little doll. But at some point, it seems like they cooled on her. And now I know she was gone because of having a baby, but, even then, it seems like they would kind of tease something and then pull back. And then now this whole contract kerfuffle that's just come up.
I think some of that also had to do with the flux that the Wyatts were in real life at that time as well, too, and the fact that they weren't going to bring her back or do anything until they knew about everybody. Because remember, the whole thing with the Wyatts started back around the COVID era where they were gone. And then, again, it's been there was a lot going on at that time, and I think she was just tied up in it and had to sit idle because of it. And then having the baby and all that.
Well, my thought is this. I'm a fan of Alexa Bliss, but I think that this spooky stuff absolutely positively sucks. And I think that, yes, you're going to sell a lot of spooky dolls to little kids. And, the people that are really passionate about Alexa are going to be very passionate online. But I think that, that's a small portion of the audience. And the vast majority of the audience did not care one bit about spooky Alexa and thought it sucked. And I'm hoping that her contract negotiation is not about, I want to come back and be spooky. I don't know, man. It's I don't know.
Who knows? And as far as blowing backstories go, the ultimate one will still, to me, be Lacey Evans. And again, forget about what you think about Lacey Evans or any opinion she has on anything online or any of that stuff. They dropped the ball with her about 37 times, and she had the type of backstory that you would want to promote if you would think if you were WWE, but Vince didn't really want to do that.
All right, let's go to the phones. You are on the air. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Ian from Toronto. I had a question for the Royal Rumble. For the next year's Royal Rumble, should it be 2 nights, and should it be each Royal Rumble main eventing a night? It makes perfect sense for the women's Rumble to main event one night and the men's Rumble to main event another night with various other matches on the pre-card.
Yes, you don't even need to continue. You don't even need to continue, my friend. That is absolutely correct. Royal Rumble should be 2 nights. You have, and you can easily do a 3.5-hour show each night. The Rumble's going to go over an hour, and then you have maybe 2 or 3 other matches. And the first night is the men's or women's. The second night is the other. And I would 100% be a backer of that.
All title matches for the most part because you have enough of them.
I mean, they make a lot of money off these 2-night things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's the fact of the matter. They're going to sell double the tickets. They're going to sell double everything. Like, virtually nobody picks one show over the other. Everyone that's going to go is going to buy tickets for both nights. And, you know, whatever. I'm not a huge fan of back-to-back nights just because that's a lot to watch, but I would much rather prefer that than have to watch 2 Royal Rumbles in a single night. That's a lot. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died. Yeah. All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie about this.
What is up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was going to say, the very first one was a
many
disaster.
problems. Many problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Brian.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like, every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect her audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the Granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week, as far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
Okay, just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, Click like and subscribe. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. Do we have any fun text messages for the last few moments here on Fun Friday?
Hope so.
Bird says, if any pay-per-view should be 2 nights, it should be the Royal Rumble. Not only is it good to not have 2 Rumbles on one show, but nobody would have to do double duty. Well, sometimes it's fun to do the double duty angle. I mean, you can have, somebody wrestles on the undercard, and then something happens, and out they come for the other one.
Now, with you going to Vegas, can you imagine doing I'm going to work 8 shows during the WrestleMania weekend? Can you imagine something like that? Could you have done something like that?
Depends on who I'm wrestling.
Mike Bailey every time.
No. Let's see. What's going on with Asuka? Is she ready to come back, or is she still injured? Well, presumably she's still injured if she's not back yet. So there's that. This person notes tickets for the February 19th Dynamite in Phoenix aren't even on sale yet, but tickets for March shows are. Been checking every day. Could be part of why they have trouble selling tickets. If I recall, I don't think they put on tickets. I think they put tickets on sale for Cincinnati until like 2 or 3 weeks before. Because I was waiting for that one too. It's like, are they ever putting tickets on sale for Cincinnati? Like, it's coming up. So I could be imagining that. It might have been another show.
Wait, what show is that date for?
February 19th.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Small building, though. Look, if it's a very small building that they think is going to sell out, like it's a club type of building, maybe that's the reason why they're waiting. I have no idea. It's kind of wild.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, everybody. It was a fun Friday, as always, and we'll be back later on this weekend. Dave and I are up on Saturday night, talking Saturday night's main event. And Vinny and Craig and I will be up on Sunday. And Sunday will be Collision and Saturday night's main event. So lots to talk about this weekend. That's only for subscribers, WrestlingObserver.com. Or you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. F4WOnline.com. Forget it. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.